An area of some disagreement among your candidates. The Office of Attorney General is, as Bob McDonnell put it on his website, to run a large law firm. Its clients are you, the people of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And he represents you, or she in some cases, in everything from civil to criminal to constitutional realms. And it's the duty of the Attorney General to defend the laws duly passed by the people of Virginia and signed by the governor, whether or not he or she happens to personally agree with those laws. Now, in the first debate in Roanoke, John said that he would apply what he called a moral filter in determining whether to enforce the law, his personal moral filter. I disagree with that respectfully. That's not the job of the Attorney General. And in fact, I would challenge him on the example he gave, the Korematsu case. Yes, with the benefit of hindsight, I think most people in this room would agree it was not a good policy to incarcerate Japanese Americans after Pearl Harbor in World War II. But think about what he said. President Roosevelt had that policy. It was upheld by the Supreme Court of the United States, as he just said. It was found constitutional. Would it have been the right of the Attorney General of the United States to tell President Roosevelt, I will not even seek to defend a law that's been passed, or an executive order in that case, duly passed? I don't think that's your personal right unless you have to resign. If you ever reach the point you can't enforce the law, you resign. That's your right to do that. But you can't stay in the job and say, this passes my personal moral filter, this doesn't. That's not the job of the Attorney General. This comes naturally to someone who's been in the practice of law for a long time. For 28 years, I've been with one of the world's largest law firms, Fulbright & Jaworski, 1,000 lawyers around the world. I co-chair one of their litigation practices. I know when I represent clients that I give them my best advice, but then they're the client. They get to make the decision, and I defend them. I try to help them succeed in whatever it is they're seeking to do, provided it's not, of course, criminal. I don't get to say, you don't pass my personal moral filter, or you do. I help them to achieve their objectives. And that's your Attorney General's job, and I think that's got to be kept in mind as we go into this general election in the fall. Because I can guarantee you, if we find ourselves explaining to the public of the Commonwealth of Virginia this November what we mean by the moral filter we will apply in deciding whether or not to enforce the law, we're going to be sidetracked. We're not going to be talking about jobs and how Republicans can rebuild this economy. We're not going to be talking about law and order. We're not going to be talking about anything except what's wrong with them. Don't they understand it's his job to be the Commonwealth's attorney for Virginia, literally the Commonwealth of Virginia? And that's the way I look at the job, and I've looked at it for 28 years, and I will look at it if you make me your nominee and I'm lucky enough to be elected.